Good morning. It's Beth Murphy here. This video is for my Energetically Speaking playlist. I owe my INFJ friends. We're doing the rest of our traits list, but I'm not in the mood to do that today. So part of being aware of your own energy is going with the flow. So I just kind of got triggered. This phrase. I used it with my friend who would understand what I'm talking about. She has her own words, but this was from one of what I would say would be a teacher. If you Googled this, you could probably figure out who my teacher was. So let's talk about it. Follow your excitement. I'm remembering one of my friends, she was considering taking a job. Okay, so some of the lesson with this story is you have your ego brain, and this is of mind, okay? And then you have your heart. You know how we say listen to your heart? Well, a lot of people don't understand that. The sensor people in the world, the thinky people, this is not to be trusted to them, okay? So when my friend was thinking about taking a job, it was, at the time it was, she had some experience in it, and it seemed, see, now I'm talking from the ego side because I'm saying it seemed like it would be sensible to take this particular job. And this is what I heard her doing, because I recognized the energy, I recognized the language. What she was doing was speaking from that ego part that wants to protect itself. The ego wants to protect you. There's nothing wrong with the ego, per se. I could get into that a little bit, but not here. That's a good video. The ego is just part of your physicality, so it has its job, it has its place. And the more you know what it is, the more you won't get sucked into any ideas it has that aren't going to work out for your heart and your soul and who you really are. The ego is here just to protect your physical body. When you learn that, you won't be running down all these silly paths out of fear. So anyway, this particular job, I could hear her ego speaking because it said things like, it seems good, or I would make this much money right away, or she wasn't talking about any of her feelings. She wasn't using words like, I'm excited, or I look forward, like, to making a difference, or to performing the actions. It was all might and seems, and she was trying to talk herself into it. And I bet you're thinking right now of something that you've done where you heard yourself doing that. So as you begin to wake up, you will hear yourself using these types of phrases, and you can make a better decision. So when I was listening to her, she had a little bit of a pull to a particular job that seemed genuine. I'm going to say it was like 30%. But most of her, 70% of her, was trying to talk herself into it. And that's why it wasn't a good idea. Because she wasn't really excited. She just was saying ego protective things like imagining I'll have this sum of money each week. But that's not where she wants to go in life and in general. That's not going to fill her heart. That's going to make her unsatisfied in 6 months? Or make her get herself fired, or make herself get frustrated and quit. You don't need a paycheck. You need excitement. And that excitement, when you feel it pulling on you or calling you to something, you have to go, because there's something there for you. Because, as I've learned, the excitement is its own, and I'm going to put this in quotes because that's what they said, complete kit. So now, where might that job have been correct for her? Even if that job was not meant to take her a particular distance, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, something like that, that if she was meant to go to that job, even if she was meant to just be there for a month, I'm saying if she was genuinely excited, but in fact, a few months from now, it wasn't the right job for her, I would have encouraged her to go anyway. That's really the whole point of this video, and I'm going to say it again so I don't confuse you. If, when I was talking to her about that particular job, if she was just excited, even if she didn't have any reasons, that's the ego column, the reasons, talking yourself into it. It might be good, it seems like it'd be okay, whatever. If she was just working off of her excitement, I would have been more believing that that job was right for her, even if it did not last long. Now, why would that be? Because her higher self, which is the advanced version of you, okay, it's always involved in your life. It's what gave you that excitement to point in a certain direction. So if she felt that excitement and she took that job, well, then I would have known she would be meeting someone. Okay? She would be meeting someone that would take her in the direction that she was supposed to be going for her bigger, more overall happiness and direction. So she would meet someone, or she would work that job a few weeks and get inspired and learn something about herself that she would not have learned otherwise. That's what that road would get her. And that's why that road would have been important, even if she did not stay at that particular job for months or years. So this is how your higher self works and talks to you. It talks through the language of excitement. If you don't get anything out of this and you just work off your trust of me, having studied metaphysics for all my life, that's how your higher self talks to you, through excitement. And the ego will try to keep you safe. Okay, so we just balance it out. You don't have to be mad at it. You don't have to be afraid of it. Just keep it in check. Say, thank you, ego. I know you're trying to protect my body, but I need to go this way. And then you will find out why, because you'll be getting more and more information. If you take that path that excites you, you'll feel better and more connected and more alive, and everything will click and everything will make sense because it's its complete kit. Like I'm telling you, even if that job doesn't quote unquote work out like the rest of the world would think, they would think you failed if you left in a month. But if you took that job just based on your excitement, then you would have met someone, or you would have been inspired, and then it's going to be the easiest way to get you somewhere, even if that job didn't work out on paper. So that's when the wrong job gets you to the right place. Actually, in this girl's story, she did try that job and it didn't work out, and that makes sense to me because the language was not there. She was not saying she was excited. She was not looking forward to it, and she found problem after problem after problem. She didn't last a month. The manager didn't like her, and she had trouble performing the work, even though she thought she could. See, the ego told her she could. The ego told her it would be easy. But it just didn't work out, and she ended up quitting. So I kind of saw that. But, you don't say these things because that's all part of the process. It's all part of the perfection, as this girl needed to figure that out on her own. And now she's doing something that's a little more suited to her. So follow your excitement first and foremost. Keep your ego in check. It just wants to help you, but recognize its language. Even if that job doesn't work out by the rest of the world's calculations, if you followed your excitement and you went and did it, you got what you needed out of it. And then you took that to your next place. Because it's a complete kit. There's somebody there you're supposed to meet. There's some epiphany you're supposed to have. Even if you hate it so much and you took this job because it made sense and it made you realize you could never do something like that again, then you needed to learn that. But it's all tied back to how you feel. Everything is. All right? So if you have questions, please leave them in the comments, because I know that I have a way of talking. I'm an INFJ. I have ways of talking that are... How'd my husband put it this weekend? I was talking to him and he said, you just said a bunch of things that don't go together. And then I had to give him the linear... I had to make it make more sense to him, but it makes sense to me because I talk in patterns and things. Anyway, so that's that. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.